This fall, Mainers are voting on a controversial referendum question aimed at stopping the New England Clean Energy Connect project.
Question 1 is 54 words and can be tricky to understand upon a first read. News Center Maine's Hannah Deneen has been working to dissect the question and joins us now with the details. Hannah?
Well, Chris and Cindy, this question was initially presented to Mainers as a petition, which received more than 80,000 signatures, more than enough for the Secretary of State to certify that it be on our ballots this November. The question closely adheres to the language on that petition, including the use of a hot-button word in this campaign, retroactive.
Our office simply ensures that the language meets statutory drafting requirements.
Secretary of State Shenna Bellows says question 1 is an objective summary of the Citizens Initiative petition.
The language on the ballot in November adheres as closely as possible to the intentions of the citizens who brought the question forward.
The question reads, do you want to ban the construction of high-impact electric transmission lines in the Upper Kennebec region, and to require the legislature to approve all other such projects anywhere in Maine, both retroactively to 2020 and to require the legislature retroactively to 2014 to approve by a 2/3 vote such projects using public land? Why such a long question?
So when a ballot question is written, it is written like it is going to be a law.
Adam Cote, the lawyer representing the Yes on One campaign, says the referendum's goal is narrow, stopping the New England Clean Energy Connect.
The only project that I'm aware of that has started in the state of Maine that this referendum would apply to is the CMP corridor.
Does this apply to private sector work or
No.
work on private land, or is this specifically on public land?
The 2/3 vote is strictly on public land. The majority vote is if there's a massive construction project that goes over 50 miles, the legislature needs to vote majority on it.
As for that word retroactive, the question calls for legislature approval on such projects retroactively to 2020 and 2014. 2014 is when CMP entered into a lease agreement with the state of Maine, which a judge has now ruled to be faulty.
So the purpose of writing it as 2014 is to make it unequivocally clear that it applies to the CMP corridor.
Retroactive to 2020 because that's when the Yes on One campaign submitted the ballot petitions.
I think there is a fear that this sort of law leads to a slippery slope where other laws are passed retroactively. What do you make of that?
I think it's incredibly rare when you have anything enacted retroactively. If people are concerned that this is going to apply to other projects, empower politicians to do things, it's not the case at all.
I reached out to two groups representing the No on One campaign to ask whether it is aware of any projects this question would impact, as well as its position on the slippery slope of retroactivity. Of course, other projects that it would impact aside from the NECEC. I've not yet heard back from those groups. But by the way, Election Day is Tuesday, November 2nd. Early voting begins 30 days before that on October 4th. You can already request your absentee ballot. Chris and Cindy?